Okay, so you're comfortable with finding thirds and sevenths. The next step is to add extensions to these third and sevenths voicings. Again, I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you two different basic ways of adding extensions to the voicings. One of them is going to be a way that you can play with one hand, either your right or left hand, and the other one is a way to play them with both hands. So yeah, I'll just flip the camera around. I'll start with a quick overview of what an extension is. If we take any scale, let's take the C Ionian scale, commonly called the major scale, we can express it in one octave, like this, but we can also express it by skipping every other note till we end up with a 2-octave expression of it. And this is called stacking it in thirds. If we're talking about it in 1 octave, it makes sense to call these notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. However, if we're talking about it as a 2-octave stack, it makes sense to keep numbering them 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So calling this note a 9th rather than a 2nd is just because we're talking about it in its harmonic context rather than in its melodic context. So what we're going to do here is for every major 7 and minor 7 chord, we're going to add a 5th and a 9th to the 3rd and 7th voicing. And for every dominant chord, we're going to add a 9th and 13th. And we're going to do this in 2 ways. The first way is with 2 hands, where the left hand is playing the 3rd and 7th, and the right hand is playing the 5th and 9th, or 9th and 13th. The second way is where you take the 5th and 9th, or 9th and 13th, and condense them down into the 3rd and 7th voicing so that you can play them with one hand. And you'll practice doing that version with both your left and right hands. And practice it just like we did in the last lesson. If your right hand is doing it, your left hand's playing the bass. If your left hand's doing it, your right hand is playing the melody. And we'll use the same 3 exercises that we used in the last lesson to practice this. So the third exercise is great if you're not super fast at finding these extensions yet. You can start by saying, I'm going to find 9ths all around the circle of 5ths. So I'll start at F, I'll find a 9th above it and a 9th below it. Then I'll go to B flat, find a 9th above it and a 9th below it. Go all the way around the circle finding that. The second exercise is then sort of the next step. You can say, okay, I'm going to play the 3rd and 7th voicing with the 9th all the way around the circle of 5ths. So let's start it, and I'm going to choose one chord quality. Same thing as last time. So let's take minor 7 chords with a 9th added to them and go all the way around the circle of 5ths. And again, you're going to voice lead them, so you're not just skipping around. So I'll add so I'll start with F minor 7 and add a 9th to it. Then we go to B flat minor 7. There's the 9th for that. E flat minor 7. A flat minor 7. And then of course you can add the 5ths to these voicings as well. So F minor 7 with a 9th and 5th. B flat. E flat. A flat. D flat, and you'll just go all the way around the circle voice leading one type of chord. Then the third exercise, you apply it to a tune. So the first 16 bars of Just Friends with this 2-handed Britless voicing looks like this. And then you'll do all the same things with the one-handed voicing. So you can take one type of chord all the way around the circle of fifths. Let's do a dominant 7 chord with 13th and 9th. So here's F dominant 7, 3rd, 7th, 13th, 9th. Go to B flat, 7th, 3rd, 9th, 13th, then to E flat, 3rd, 7th, 13th, 9th, then to A flat, 7th, 3rd, 9th, 13th. Okay, all the way around the circle of fifths, and then applying it to a tune. So here's the first 16 of Just Friends, with my right hand playing the written voicings and my left hand playing the bass. And then you'll do the same thing with your left hand playing it and your right hand playing the melody. Your goal is the same as last time. Your goal is to be able to go through the real book and play any tune in any of these ways. To play it with the two-handed writless voicings, to play it with your right hand playing the one-handed voicing and your left hand playing the bass, and to play it with your left hand playing the voicing and your right hand playing the melody. This isn't going to happen in a week or 2 weeks. This is a long project. So looking forward to seeing you once you've got comfortable with that. Next time we're going to start talking about modes and how to apply those.